The final chosen, 0. I am torn. When it first came down to me, I knew not what it was. He told me that I would be required in the grand scheme of things, that I was his equal in creation but not equal in composition. He told me I was chosen to lead all existence to peace, and that a great deal of suffering lied ahead. I was scared, which was to be expected. Wouldn't you be? I was told that many before me had failed and fallen into depravity. Am I right for this task? Am I really the one to bring salvation to this newly discovered calamity? Above me, no adjacent. The direction escapes me at this point, but a war between the light and the darkness rages, and I have been selected to quell its heaving chest. I reluctantly accept, still not knowing the conditions of my actions. That's when everything spiraled out of control. My very existence was split. I no longer knew myself, and it seemed that my shadow, my reflection, anything resembling me was a threat. The light and darkness I had taken on had led me to believe that there were two lives I was living. The correct life was the question that remained unanswered. I just sought peace within myself and decided that I would have solace one way or the other. As soon as this decision was made, I found tranquility. No longer was I divided in two, my realities became one, and I could live in harmony again. As it would turn out, this was no tranquility. I awoke in an unknown land, completely surrounded by nothing but thick fog. I opened my mouth to yell out, and as sound escaped my lips, the very ground beneath me shook, knocking me down. Pieces of it began ascending into the air in cube-like structures. What was this place? Was this the result of my choice of peace? This wasn't peace. The scales of balance had been tipped. How was that even possible? I began to think it had something to do with light and darkness. Then they appeared before me. 5 figures. One of them had caught my attention. The very being that descended to me and told me of my role in fixing calamity. I was still not sure of my position, and I was hesitant to greet him as my life had drastically changed. The figures kept making their way towards me. I stood my ground and hoped that some form of communication would ensue to ease the tension. They stopped in front of me and said nothing. I once again opened my mouth to speak, but remembered what unfolded last time. I, too, remained silent. One of the figures knelt down on the ground and began scrawling something in the dirt beneath me. It read only one word: chosen. As I looked up, I noticed that another figure was kneeling down and 2 began writing. Once again, only one word: angels. I looked up once more, and one of the figures pointed at his comrades. They beckoned me to follow them, and I am left with several questions. Questions that would remain trapped in my lungs for quite some time. Was I able to trust them? Did they hold the answers as to why I was in this place?